Mira, a highly educated and determined individual, had always been driven to succeed. With a master's degree in hand, she was confident in her abilities and eager to enter the workforce. However, her job search proved to be a daunting and disheartening experience. Despite her impressive credentials, Mira faced rejection after rejection. She applied to countless positions, tailoring her resume and cover letter to each job description, but still, she received no offers. The lack of progress took a toll on her self-esteem, and she began to question her worth. To make matters worse, Mira encountered a disturbing trend during her job search. Some companies, upon learning of her qualifications, would express interest in hiring her, but with a caveat. They would hint at, or even explicitly state, that sexual favors were expected in exchange for the job. Mira was appalled and disgusted by these advances, and she refused to compromise her values and integrity. The first instance occurred during an interview at a reputable firm. As the conversation progressed, the interviewer's tone shifted from professional to flirtatious, and he made inappropriate comments about her appearance. Mira felt uncomfortable and trapped, but she maintained her composure and politely declined the position. The second incident involved a company that had initially seemed promising. After multiple rounds of interviews, the CEO invited Mira to a final meeting at an upscale restaurant. As they sipped their coffee, he began to make suggestive remarks and hinted at a quid pro quo arrangement. Mira excused herself, feeling humiliated and angry, and never looked back. These experiences left Mira feeling defeated and demoralized. She wondered if her skills and education meant nothing in the face of such blatant sexism and exploitation. She began to doubt her ability to succeed in a world where her worth was seemingly tied to her willingness to compromise her values. Mira, despite her impressive educational background, found herself struggling to secure a job in her field. With bills piling up and a sense of desperation creeping in, she made the difficult decision to apply for a position as a maid in a wealthy man's household. To her surprise, she was hired by Donald, a successful businessman who owned a thriving company. As Mira began her new role, she threw herself into the work, determined to prove herself and make the best of a difficult situation. She took meticulous care of the house, ensuring every surface sparkled and every corner was spotless. Donald, who had grown accustomed to a life of luxury, was impressed by Mira's work ethic and attention to detail. However, not everyone in the household was pleased with Mira's presence. Donald's girlfriend, Ella, was a woman used to getting her way. She was beautiful, spoiled, and accustomed to being the center of attention. The idea of a maid, especially one as intelligent and capable as Mira, threatened her status and made her uncomfortable. Ella began to make her displeasure known, subtly at first, but increasingly overtly as time went on. She would make snide comments about Mira's cleaning, criticizing her for not using the right products or not dusting the furniture to her liking. She would also make pointed remarks about Mira's appearance, implying that she was not stylish or elegant enough to be working in such a refined household. Donald, however, was not swayed by Ella's antics. He saw the value in Mira's hard work and dedication, and he began to appreciate her presence in the household. He would often find himself looking forward to their brief conversations, during which Mira would share stories about her day or ask for advice on how to improve her cleaning techniques. As the days turned into weeks, Ella's behavior became more and more erratic. She would lash out at Mira for minor infractions, and even began to accuse her of stealing or breaking valuable items. Donald, tired of Ella's constant complaining, finally sat her down and had a stern talk with her. "Ella, Mira is a hard-working and decent person," he said firmly. "She deserves our respect and kindness, not our scorn and criticism. I will not tolerate your behavior towards her any longer. After Donald's stern talk with Ella, he expected her to change her behavior towards Mira, the hardworking housemaid. However, Ella's arrogance and entitlement knew no bounds. Instead of reflecting on her actions and apologizing for her mistreatment of Mira, Ella chose to defend her behavior, claiming she was simply maintaining high standards in the household. Donald was taken aback by Ella's response. He had hoped that she would see the error of her ways and make an effort to be kinder and more considerate towards Mira. But Ella's refusal to listen and her continued justifications of her behavior sparked a great quarrel between the two. "How can you be so blind, Ella?" Donald asked, his frustration and anger boiling over. "Mira is a dedicated and talented individual who deserves our respect, not your condescending attitude and constant criticism." Ella's face turned red with indignation. "You're defending her now," she spat. "You're choosing a mere maid over me, your girlfriend." "I'm choosing basic human decency over your entitled behavior," Donald shot back. "Mira has done nothing but work hard and try to please us, and this is how you repay her." With scorn and disdain, the argument escalated, with neither party willing to back down. Ella's voice grew louder and more shrill, while Donald's tone became firmer and more resolute. Finally, in a dramatic flourish, Ella stormed out of the room, slamming the door behind her. "You choose, Donald," she shouted, her voice echoing down the hallway. "Either you choose me, your girlfriend, or you choose Mira, your precious housemaid. But know this, I will not be treated like this." Donald sighed heavily, feeling the weight of the situation settle upon him. He knew that Ella's ultimatum was not an idle threat. She had a history of manipulating situations to get what she wanted, and he feared that she would not hesitate to walk out on their relationship if she didn't get her way. But Donald also knew that he could not compromise on this issue. Mira had done nothing to deserve Ella's cruelty, and he would not stand idly by while someone under his roof was treated with such disrespect. He took a deep breath and made his decision. "I choose Mira," he said aloud, his voice firm and resolute. "I choose kindness, compassion, and basic human decency over arrogance and entitlement." And with that, Donald knew that his relationship with Ella was likely at an end. But he also knew that he had made the right choice, standing up for what was right and just, even if it meant losing someone he cared about. Mira was taken aback when Donald chose her over his girlfriend Ella. She had never intended to come between them, and she felt a pang of guilt for potentially destroying their relationship. But Donald reassured her, his expression kind and understanding. "Mira, you've done nothing wrong," he said, his voice gentle. "Ella and I have been having issues for a long time. She's never been interested in learning how to take care of a household or contributing to our relationship in any meaningful way. All she's ever wanted is my money and attention." Mira looked at him in surprise, unsure of what to say. She had always assumed that Ella was the perfect girlfriend, beautiful and charming, but now she was seeing a different side of the story. "Since you came to the house, Mira, I've been impressed by your work ethic and dedication," Donald continued. "You're always willing to learn and take on new tasks, and you've become an invaluable member of our household. Ella, on the other hand, has only ever been interested in herself and her own desires." Mira felt a surge of gratitude towards Donald, who was standing up for her and acknowledging her hard work. She had always tried her best to please him and Ella, but she had never expected this level of recognition and appreciation. "I'm so sorry, Donald," Mira said, her voice filled with emotion. "I never meant to cause any trouble between you and Ella." Donald smiled and placed a hand on her shoulder. "You haven't caused any trouble, Mira. You've actually brought a sense of calm and stability to our household. Ella's behavior is not your fault, and I'm glad I finally had the courage to stand up to her." As they spoke, Mira realized that she had been blind to the dynamics between Donald and Ella. She had always assumed that they were the perfect couple, but now she saw that their relationship was built on shallow foundations. Ella's behavior was not just cruel and entitled, but also manipulative and controlling. "I'm glad I'm out of that toxic relationship," Donald said, his eyes sparkling with relief. "And I'm grateful to have you, Mira, as a part of my life. You're a true gem, and I don't know what I would do without you." Mira felt a sense of pride and purpose wash over her. She had never expected to find a sense of belonging in this household, but now she felt like she had finally found a place where she was valued and appreciated. And as she continued her work, she knew that she would always be grateful to Donald for seeing her worth and standing up for her against his girlfriend's cruelty. Donald's eyes locked onto Myra's, his gaze filled with sincerity and adoration. "Mira, from the moment you walked into my life, I knew you were something special. Your kindness, your compassion, your beauty, it all captivated me. I want to spend the rest of my life making you happy, being the one you turn to for comfort and support. I love you, Mira. Will you be mine?" Myra's heart skipped a beat as she processed Donald's confession. She had grown to care deeply for him, admiring his kindness and generosity. His words resonated within her, and she felt a sense of belonging she had never experienced before. "Donald, I really like you too," she stammered, her voice barely above a whisper. "You're so kind, caring, and loving. I feel so comfortable around you, like I can be myself without fear of judgment. I accept your proposal, Donald. I want to be with you." Donald's face lit up with joy, and he swept Mira into his arms, holding her close as tears of happiness streamed down his face. "I promise, Mira, I will never break your heart. I will always be here for you, supporting you, loving you, and cherishing you. You are my everything now." As they embraced, Mira felt a sense of security and love she had never known before. She knew that Donald would always be her rock, her confidant, and her partner in every sense of the word. She felt grateful for his love and acceptance, and she vowed to reciprocate that love with all her heart. "I love you too, Donald," she whispered, her voice filled with emotion. "I promise to always support you, to be your partner in every sense, and to love you with all my heart and soul." As they pulled back, Donald gazed into Myra's eyes, his own shining with happiness. "We'll build a life together, Mira. A life filled with love, laughter, and adventure. We'll explore the world, hand in hand, and create a home filled with warmth and joy." Mira smiled, her heart overflowing with happiness. She knew that with Donald by her side, she could face anything life threw their way. Together, they would build a love that would last a lifetime.